here to talk about How to Get Away with Murder, episode 7 of season 2. I want you to die. And you know who said that? That was Bunny. Bunny went off on Annalisa. I liked it, but then at the same time, I didn't. We'll talk about that a little later. So a lot going on. They're still trying to get the suspect Philip on Catherine and Caleb case. Then we have Nate got served. Then we have the case of the week. And Asher and Bunny have their little issue, and then what's going on in prison. Let's talk about Philip first. So they see Philip's profile. He's a loner. He don't make much money. He stayed 2 miles away from the mansion, but they don't know if he was in town during the time of the murders. Emily's like, "What y'all waiting for? Y'all already don't have that? What?" Okay, Michaela. It's just basically Michaela, Connor, and Frank working on it because the other people are working on other stuff. Michaela find a report that there was DNA found on the crime scene that was not from the people who worked there or lived there. So they're like, "Ooh, mystery DNA." And they were like, "Ooh, we should break in to Philip's house and get his DNA." And Emily's like, "Nah, we ain't doing that." Oliver comes over because of Frank and tells that Philip was in town when the murders happened. And then he finally gets to meet Annalisa. He's like, "Oh, he's so nice," because she thanked him for saving them so many times. And then he ended up building a profile, which Philip was on, which he just pretty much stalking him. And he used the profile but set it up with Connor's picture. And then was like, "Oh, we should ask him to go out for coffee, and then we can get his DNA." Connor was like, "No, you're doing too much." Ever since Connor told him that he did something bad and he'd probably go to jail, it's like Oliver's just trying to do stuff so he can sit here and be his cellmate. He's just tripping. But I understand it's kind of seemed like their lives is exciting compared to his. So he volunteered to go to the coffee shop if Connor didn't want to go. Connor didn't want him to go, so he decided to go. And then also it was his picture. So Connor goes in the coffee shop, and then you have Frank, Michaela, and Laura in the car. Laura didn't like it. She was like, "No, this is not right. This is dangerous. This is a killer." She goes and calls Annalisa, but Annalisa was busy talking to Bunny. When she finally gets the voicemail, she calls Frank and shuts it down. They were like, "What?" They were a little teed off about it. But anyway, Oliver went home, and then Philip just came in his house like, "Hi, Oliver." Wow. And then he pretty much took him. So that's what happened with that. So we'll see next episode. Where's Oliver? Did he get killed, or did Philip ask him to be my friend? I mean, we don't know. Nate is at the hospital collecting his wife Neil's stuff, and then he gets served papers. Basically, Sinclair is saying that his wife died with drugs instead of natural causes, and she wants the court to approve them testing her blood because before they cremated her, they had took some of her blood for some clinical trials. So Eve come back to help him, and then she talks to Annalise, and they, find out that Nate did it on his own, but Neil did call Annalise and ask for the pill, so we already know that. Eve like, "I got this, you don't need to talk to Nate. You shouldn't have been talking to Nate anyway." And at some point, the case of the week dealt with suicide, and Annalise saw that Wes was having a little hard time with it, so she assigned him to watch the case. And then he tried to go in there and sit in the back, but then Eve already saw him, and he was like, "Nah," he was lying, saying I was doing it for some research. The nurse was getting examined by Sinclair, and then she just went off and like, "I don't know, people who suffering, I don't understand why you can't put them on their misery if they want to. Why it's not legal." She went off, and then Eve decided not to cross-examine her. Wes goes back and tells Annalise that Nate lost and that Eve did not cross-examine the nurse. Annalise goes to Eve and asks, "Did you throw the case?" Because they were joking about throwing the case before and then putting Nate in jail. She's like, "No, we got a plan. Don't you worry about it. We got this." Nate goes to the hospital and asks the nurse because he knew I felt like she kind of liked him, so she ended up switching the test or switching the blood. But it came back to the court, and basically her blood was fine, so the case was closed. They won the case. Outside, Wes is like, "Why do you do that for her?" And she's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." It's like, "You switched, you doctored the results, you did something." She was like, "Well, I can ask you the same thing because you do everything for her." Like, it's different. I have to. Okay, Annalisa goes to Eve's hotel room. They celebrate, and she's like, "What is going on with Wes?" Originally, she asked, "Do you sleep with him?" She's like, "I don't sleep with my students." And then Eve was like, "There's something else about him." Then we find out that Annalisa's like, it's not just any student, it is him. Ding ding! Whatever I've been saying this whole time, I feel that Wes is her kid. Let me tell you something. And this is not across the board, but this has happened common than not common. When somebody is molested, one or two things happen. They are very promiscuous and probably end up having one or two kids when they're younger. And then sometimes this happens, sometimes not. Then they have kids later, or they don't have kids. Or they are very mousy and not, like, they don't trust people, like Bunny. So that's the spectrum of each side of being molested. So I'm thinking that Annalise had him, gave him up for adoption, kept tabs on him. His mother died, and then she bring him in. Because if you recall from the first season, he was not even supposed to be in the class, but he got in the class. So I'm figuring all this is coming together. And I think he's going to figure out that she's his mother or relative, because Annalise lost a lot of blood. I think they're all going to give blood just because of saving face, acting like they really care. Or maybe they say what type of blood she is, and then he's like, oh, you know, I have the same blood type. Gives blood and find out it's his mother. But then I also figure, and this is just reaching, Michaela, because they keep, you know, bringing out the adoption and everything. I think Michaela might be Annalise's child too. Maybe I might be reaching on that. But they talk about adopting. We don't know anything about Michaela, but except for she was she bougie. She kind of came down on this season, and then she's adopted by her parents. But then she didn't want to relate to her past, so we don't know. It's kind of up in the air about what's going on with that. Okay, moving on. The case of the week. This guy named Dale, who's very just, I don't know, like, he doesn't know reality. He had an ex-wife, and basically she had a new husband, and then he died suicide. So the trial is saying that Dale made the guy commit suicide. I don't know how many husbands she got, because he was her husband, and then it said he harassed 2 other husbands, and then this was, so I guess she had 4 husbands. She had a lot of husbands. And he was just stalking the guy, basically. And so they were in the room trying to come up with a deal before the trial, and then he was too busy, like, not caring about going to jail, but talking about, ooh, you wore this blue for me and stuff like. She was like, no, we're going to trial. They go to trial. Well, they had 4 hours till trial, and then Annalise was like, well, Annalise came in and saw Frank and Laura making out. I was like, oh, y'all got time to do that? So she asked Laura to help her with the case to find something, but she was slow to get on speed with the case. So she was like, oh, you need 2 men to hold your hand. So Wes was like, no, I want to sit here and work on the Caleb and Catherine case. He's like, this ain't no democracy. You gonna go do this. But I know why, because it was a suicide case. And then Asher volunteered because he wanted to talk to Bunny. So they go, and then they talk to the guy, and they find out that the guy, I forgot his name, but he basically went to church 3 days a week at night. And then Laura's like, oh, he went to AA. So they asked the wife on the stand. She was like, nah, but it kind of tricked her about that. When they were in the hallway, Laura noticed the lawyer and the lady, the plaintiff's interaction. She was like, oh, she asked Oliver to find the prosecutor's address, and then she went there and lied and said, you know, she had the glove, and showed the picture of the lady, I forgot her name as well, and he found out that the prosecutor and her were sleeping together. She go and tell Annalise, so they go to court, and then Laura tricked the guy. She is so manipulative. Tricked the guy to go in the courtroom, and he couldn't go out because the judge can hold him in contempt. And then basically the prosecutor pleaded the fifth, so he knew that him and the lady were sleeping together. So her client got off scot-free. She was like, you're pathetic. She don't like you, because he still thought the wife liked him, but she could not stand him. Said, you're fired. Laura's like, you're welcome. Like, okay. And she was like, like, why do you have a problem with Frank and her having sex? She was like, no, I don't. It's like, then why you treat me like dirt? It's like, I don't pay you any attention because I don't have to. I don't have to worry about you. So it's a good thing that I don't have to worry about you. So that was good. So Asher been trying to talk to Bunny the whole time. Bunny been cold. Basically, 4 guys raped 1 girl. And Asher, it was at Asher's party. He was drunk. He saw them go upstairs, but he didn't do anything. Never did anything. It was confusing because it's like either her dad covered it up or his dad covered it up. But covered it up, and he was like, I want to do something. It's like, it's too late. He got home. Bunny was there drunk, and she was like, you took the one thing that mattered in my life, and I tried to, keep it, but you just ruined me. She was like, I tried to save you. And, Bunny was like, she killed Rebecca to protect Annalisa. I don't know, like, I feel like Annalisa does sit here and try to protect him, but I don't know the way she do it all the time is the best method. But she do try to protect him. She just don't know how to love the right way. And Bunny's pissed. But Bunny put herself in that position because she the one told Asher that she killed Sam. She shouldn't have told him that, and then she wouldn't have been put in that position. Yeah, it might not have been the best way, but again, Asher was a part or witness or didn't do anything about a gang rape, and then you killed somebody. So, like, okay, I'm not sure how this is going to go. Oh. And then Wes finds the gun that Levi had left at his house. Let's go to present. Okay, Connor is like, I'm leaving. And Michaela's like, wait. He was like, you can come with me or not. So they get ready to leave. And I'm thinking they're going to either go tell the police or whatever happened, they just like done with it. I don't think Annalisa was shot at that point. So they're like, we're done. I'm tired. Like, shame on me first time, not this time. Okay, they go. Laura and Wes. Wes has a gun in his hand. He's going to the balcony to stop them. And then lo and behold, bam! Sinclair fell off the balcony. And then we see up there is Bunny. But I just feel like there's somebody else up there. And she was just watching. Because Bunny done got really, really psycho now. I think Asher was up there. So my prediction is right now that either Eve shot Annalisa or Asher or Connor shot Annalisa. Because on the next preview, Connor blaming Annalisa what happened to Oliver. Nobody ever told you to bring Oliver into this mix. Nobody told you to ask Oliver to do anything on this case. I mean, sometimes she do, but it wasn't mandatory. He could have just said no. So stop blaming Annalisa. Yeah, I understand she's not the best person in the world, but they keep blaming her like she started this whole thing. But the reason I say Eve, because I feel like she's kind of stringing Eve on. Like, she like Eve, but she don't want to be with Eve. Just using Eve to save Nate, and then also keep him in good graces, And then I for some reason, I feel like they're all going to be there at the house, and then a whole bunch of truths going to come out, and then it's going to be blamed against Annalisa. Because there's so many people. The first time, it was just the 4, but now it's like Bunny's there, Asher, Connor, Wes, Michaela, Laura, Frank probably was somewhere around, Sinclair was there, and then probably Caleb and Captain. Like, everybody was at the house. So, subscribe to this channel, leave a comment, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and we will see who shot Annalisa. Hopefully in 2 weeks, I think. Bye.